Alright, so I just got to the rec center. This is where I'm going to be recording my shoulder spin tutorial, which I'm going to do first because it's easiest and I'm still injured. Now, before you start watching this tutorial, I should point two things out. The first is that this isn't a typical shoulder spin tutorial. Like, this isn't the normal shoulder spin that you see a lot of people doing. But if you've watched my videos and you've seen my shoulder spin, it should be very obvious what I'm going to teach you. Second, the only prerequisite for this is a coin drop, and I have a coin drop tutorial up already. It's helped a ton of people from what they've told me, and if you have any other questions about that, feel free to ask. If you have any questions about this tutorial as well, feel free to shoot me any questions. So yeah, I'm going to get ready, set up my tripod, and then I'll start the actual tutorial. Alright, so shoulder spin tutorial. As I said earlier, what you're going to need for the prerequisite of this is a coin drop. And specifically, if you don't have a coin drop, I recommend watching my tutorial on it. It's decently short. It's kind of long actually, but it's very comprehensive and you can skip around because I split it into sections. I might do that with this one too, but it's really straightforward. But I think I will anyway. So, if I have this right, I will now show you what your coin drop should look like. Okay, that's all you need. If you can windmill out of it, even better, but all you need is that initial drop. And yeah, so let's get started. With the coin drop, when you collapse, you're going to be using the exact same setup for the shoulder spin. So your coin drop, you like this, reach for your opposite foot, go around, plant this hand down, and then you slide your elbow underneath. We're going to start with that motion, and basically all you want to do is do your coin drop, except try not to go onto your back. It's going to sound weird, but it's the exact same motion. You want to slide under like you're collapsing, except once you hit this point, try to keep your body in this position. What I do is actually this like weird pike shoulder spin, but for sake of this, I'm going to show you what this step should look like. So you have your coin drop, and instead of collapsing all the way, you hit your shoulder and you kind of stall on it. And that's what it should look like. For this part, it should be really easy. You're not going to be able to get it like immediately, but I guarantee you if you can coin drop, it'll take you like 3-4 tries maybe. That's going to be your initial shoulder spin, and you're going to use that to build onto what I normally do. Now, when you're doing this, a lot of things that might happen is you might have trouble just getting onto your shoulder, or you might go straight onto your back or something. If you do, that means there's a problem with your coin drop and your collapse. Your collapse should set you perfectly to slide onto your shoulder. It shouldn't drop you onto your back. I've seen a lot of people do coin drops that way, and it doesn't give you any power at all. In fact, it takes away a ton. And if that's the problem that you have, go back, practice your coin drop, and pay close attention to this motion. When people teach a coin drop, they make the mistake of saying that you're supposed to go from your hand to your elbow to your shoulder. Your elbow should never touch the ground. It's really bad, and it's a bad habit to develop. Basically what should happen is your hand touches the ground, and your elbow drives inward to put your shoulder on the ground. And it should be a really smooth motion, and you should get a lot of power out of your coin drop. So again, all you have to do is think about your coin drop, and right here, as you're sliding inward, just get onto the shoulder. You can have your head on the ground if you want. It's my personal preference not to. It might make it easier for you. If you can do an icy ice, this feels very, very similar to an icy ice. So again, I'll show you what this step should look like. Alright, so here it is again, just the first step. Coin drop, stop. And that's it. Now, the next step is a little bit harder, but not by much. I'm telling you, this is a really easy move. You try it for like, you can get it within a day, and getting more rotation is just a matter of practice. It's like 90s or 2000s, except a ton easier. Because 90s and 2000s, you have to get your entire body up and vertical, and it's really, really annoying. For this, for the most part, all you have to do with your windmill is, or with your coin drop, is to be able to keep your legs straight as you're entering, which really shouldn't be a problem at all. Theoretically, you can do this shoulder spin with any positioning, but the way that I'm going to teach you, it makes most sense to pike it, and that's how I think it looks the best. So the next step is that, sorry, that's my ringtone. The next step is when you do your coin drop, hopefully if you watch my tutorial, you should be able to do it without hands. So just jumping into it like this shouldn't really be a problem. That was a kind of sketchy landing because, again, I'm really scared of landing on my left ankle, which is dead. I'll post a link to why if you're curious on this side. Okay, but yeah. If you're comfortable just jumping into coin drop without your hands, this should be really easy. You're going to do the same collapse, except this time, instead of putting your hand down and sliding it under, you just want to drop straight onto your shoulder. Keep your arms straight, and if you learn how to coin drop, this is not going to hurt, you're not going to die. So the position that you're going to end up in is pretty much this. This is how you want to be spinning, and that's how you're going to get control, and that's how you're going to be able to get out of the shoulder spin. The main reason I don't like the traditional shoulder spin is it's very hard to chain out of, unless you can do shoulder halos. But that's an extremely advanced move, and all you need for this is a coin drop. So I'll show you what this should look like. So you do your coin drop, and instead of putting your hand down and driving your arm in, you just drop onto your shoulder. Don't let your entire body just fall onto your shoulder. Think about the coin drop motion and sliding your shoulder into the ground, which is how I tore 3 ligaments in my shoulder. Not like that. You want to slide it sideways. So again, coin drop. So it should look like this. And that's basically the move. Once you try that a few times, it should come pretty easily, and it should be pretty natural if you can coin drop. If you really want, if you're having trouble with this move, try balancing the little shoulder freeze that I did a moment ago. It's basically just with your shoulders straight like this, and your arms, your legs should be piked, like in a windmill. And that's the great thing about this move. It's really, really, really easy to exit. You can exit into windmill, which is one of the easiest power chaining power moves ever. Next to crickets, they're both ridiculous. So you don't actually need a real windmill to windmill out of this. All you have to do is think of it as a really stalled coin drop. So you hit the shoulder spin, you're spinning around, and right when you start to lose balance, just finish the coin drop. And you can either get out of that way, or my preference is into a windmill so that, here, I have a video from yesterday of windmill to crickets, or 2 days ago. So that's what that looks like. Or shoulder spin, sorry, to crickets. Anyway, it's been a long day. Basically, all you want to do is, as you're on your shoulder, spinning with no regard for human life, you're spinning, spinning, spinning. Once you start to lose balance, roll back, stay on your shoulders, and just finish the coin drop. It'll feel really natural. It's a really easy move. The only problem with this is it's hard to enter without the coin drop setup. Personally, for me, I don't like entering it from windmills or from any other footwork variation. The one exception is this little knee sweep thing that I like to do into windmills and hung 10 freezes. If you're really comfortable with that, you can kind of shoulder spin out of it, but it's awkward. Yeah, so Basically anywhere you can think of putting a windmill coin drop type motion, you can try it. This move again will take you like maybe a day to learn if you can coin drop, and don't hurt yourself. While I'm doing this tutorial, I can like lightly cover how to get into freeze from the shoulder spin or just a windmill in general, which I think I might do. Just because I still have like half an hour before they start like class in here, so I might as well. Yeah, so let's do it. Shoulder spin to freeze. If you can halo, that makes this move so much easier. If you can do head mills, that also makes it a little bit easier. The idea is that as you're coming around on your right shoulder, or whatever shoulder you end up on, I spin on my left, and I do my power counterclockwise, so if you do your power clockwise, just imagine it's the other shoulder. When I get to my right shoulder, you just lean back, put your head on the ground a little bit, and try to pop your body up. It's gonna be a kind of weird motion. If you can do like those little head coin drops, that helps a lot. So I show you what that is. So basically you just start like this, right? And you coin drop like that. So if you can do that, that will make getting into freeze a ton easier. But yeah, what you wanna do is you lean up, try to pop up a little bit onto your head, and the moment you do that, you want to get your legs over. So your body comes up, and then immediately you want to stand and bring your legs over. You can go into any freeze that you really want. I find that specific freeze the easiest by far, because, I mean, look at this. Like, you don't even have to balance this. I can talk in this freeze for like a day. But you could go into any other freeze. I tried shoulder spin to side chair spin once using a windmill transition, and it was relatively easy. So you can really do anything with it. It's really, really versatile. Just because it ends in that windmill motion. But yeah, so all you have to do is lean onto your shoulder, pop up, and hit a freeze. So I'll show you, and then I'll show you in slow-mo, and hopefully it'll make sense after. Because really this is an easy move. Everything about this move is easy. You just have to try it. Preferably if you can get something that you can slide on a little bit, that helps a lot more. I hate doing moves on carpet, it sucks. Rug is death. Definitely don't try this on like concrete or cement. That's it. I hope this tutorial helped you in some kind of a way, even though I really don't think you needed my help. You just needed to believe that you can do it. And yeah, if you have any other questions, if I missed something, then I'll either explain it to you, or if it's actually something big that I missed, which I don't understand what would be in there, I'll make a new tutorial or something. I don't know, yeah. So good luck.